college admission secrets.
Welcome, everyone. It's Coach Tony with UC Admission Secrets. Welcome back to another free live training session. So this week's topic is dual enrollment. So dual enrollment 101 is a perfect training. If you have never heard of this topic before, I'll give you the exact breakdown of every single thing. But if you have heard this topic, cough, cough, our coaching students, this is something we implement all of our coaching families. Good review, good recap, because it's right around the corner again. So if you guys want to go ahead and grab a notepad to take notes, it's going to be one of those calls where I just shout a bunch of information at your face. But as you guys are grabbing that, I have a few quick announcements. I have 4 announcements for you guys today. Number 1, if you have not, by the way, all the people in our Zoom, they are here because they have the direct Zoom link for our Facebook friends. If you guys want to join us on Zoom, not today, next week, or to get little extra bonuses, go ahead and text UCVIP to join our VIP text notification list as well too. So the perks of the notification list: 1, you get direct Zoom access. We text you guys the link to our Zoom trainings. 2, we text you the replays. Number 3, we curate the whole week summaries, give you some announcements that you guys need to know in one spot. And number 4, we share with you a weekly scholarship. Super, super awesome. There, this past week, I gave you guys a big one. It was a big, I think it was $160,000 scholarship. So it was massive. Go ahead and text UCVIP to 510-616-7212. Number 2, our college app intensives. I've been hosting these events, our college app intensive events, where we help our students start and finish their applications, right, over 2 days. We are hosting one in Irvine, right, in Orange County, in Irvine, this upcoming weekend. We had a massive wait list for our other weekends that I'm like, all right, let me see how much I can squeeze, because this is our home turf. I'm like, let me squeeze in a few extra spots. I went in our Facebook group, got like 1 spot sold, sent to our email, got another spot sold. I actually had 2 spots sold, but 1 couldn't make it at the end of the day. So we have 1 spot left. So if anybody's a senior, again, senior only event, if you want to come hang out with our team, we actually get, this is the one you get the entire bunch. You have me, I'll be there. You have Coach David, you got Coach Art, and you have Coach Leanne, all in the flesh as well too. It'll be this upcoming weekend, this Saturday, this Sunday, 9 to 4. We'll go ahead and help you with your UC applications from start to finish. Our Irvine campus, there is paid parking, but if you eat here at the restaurant, which I hope you guys got to eat, you get a drink for $3. You can get the ticket validated as well too. Our schedule for our events, so for those coming to this weekend and next weekend, and for those coming in the future, this is usually how it looks like. The first Saturday morning, we walk through every single line of the UC app. We review the personal insight questions, and we help you write the story part of the PIQ responses. We go off to lunch, and when you come back, we help you finish and write the rest of your personal insight drafts. During this time, we're going to start meeting one-on-one with our students. So by the time all of our students have talked to myself, Coach David, Coach Art, Coach Leanne, multiple times in one-on-one formats before the end of the event. And homework is, if you didn't finish anything, you got to finish it. Sunday, we're going to help you fill out the Cal State application, the additional comments, help you edit the PIQs, the activity blurbs, and the additional comments. Again, you're meeting one-on-one with our team. And then Sunday PM, we're going to finish everything else. So with that, we have 1 spot left. So if anyone's interested in that, go ahead and reach out to me somehow. Text, phone, email, messenger, let me know. We'll go ahead and get you guys connected there. Our Irvine this weekend. Next weekend, we're going to San Jose. For sure, cannot squeeze anyone there. We already squeezed people accidentally. That is full capacity as well. Any juniors, 2025 juniors. So we are doing this again. And next year, we're planning to do it. And we're going to travel again, right? The last year, we only stayed in one location the entire summer. This year, we traveled to San Jose, Huntington Beach, Irvine, San Diego. We're going to travel to more places this upcoming year as well, too. So for our juniors, if you want to just lock in a spot, it's a fully refundable $97 to lock in your spot. 1, you get to grandfather the rate, so it's only $500 this year. We are increasing the prices. Every single event has sold out so fast this year. I was like, supply and demand. We're gonna bump the prices up for tickets to $750 next year. But if you do a $97 deposit, you lock in the $500 price, and you get to help us pick our locations for next year. And then, for whatever reason you want your money back, let us know. We'll just give you a refund. It's not even a big thing for us, just to kind of gauge the cities is kind of what the purpose of this is for, and to lock in a deposit as well too. Go ahead and click there. Go ahead and book your RSVP. The link's gonna stay live till September. If we hit enough spot, we just gonna close it down. So definitely try to do it as soon as you can there. Next piece of the puzzle, our math tutoring service. You guys know I've been working behind the scenes on a different math tutoring service. A lot of our families are in math classes, pre-calc, calc, and stats. So we launched our math tutoring service. It's unlimited sessions, small groups. So the biggest group group gets is 6 kids per session. We have sessions at 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. is daily homework support for the students, and we help them with AP exam cram sessions as well too. So if you guys are interested in the pilot, 2 weeks, free trial, test it out, take as many classes as you want during those 2 weeks as well too. We will get feedback from you to help make the program a lot better. And if you're interested in signing up after the 2 weeks, it's only $150 a month. If you guys are interested, boom, tap that link, fill out the form, and then my team will go ahead and reach out and coordinate the schedule with you so you guys can get started as soon as tomorrow. And last announcement, this is the most exciting announcement for me. So one of the things I've been personally working on behind the scenes is always finding a way to make our programs better and better, right? You guys have seen me do this. One of our core values in our company is called continuous improvement. So as a result of that, we always try to make things better and better and better. So one of the things I focus on is faster response times for our families. So our students and our parents ask us questions every single day inside our program, and we have a pretty fast response time. Some of them get back within 10, 15 minutes, some of them like an hour. Our goal is how can we get that faster and faster so our parents can get almost instant answers. But you want the answers from like Coach Tony or our head coach, Coach David, or our other head coach, Coach Art. So me talking to a bunch of my friends and experts as well too, we are building a college admissions AI support bot to answer all these questions. How we're going to build it is that we're literally going to take everything that's in my head, Coach David's head, and Coach Art's head, combine it and program this bot to think and answer just like us. Our goal is to increase the response time. So what we are doing, if anyone is interested, this is open to you guys to attend, to participate. It's a paid service. I want to pay you to help us with this project. What we're going to do is we're going to ask you, if you're interested, go ahead and read this form and tap on it, see if you qualify. It's a really quick turnaround. So you apply by Thursday, you'll find out if you got in by Friday, and we expect the survey to be done by Sunday. So it's a really fast turnaround because I know it's going to take us a few weeks for the next section for us. So that's pretty much what we are going to be doing this last bit of the year. We do have a financial thank you for those who do participate as well, if you're chosen as well. So we try to do a random to make it kind of fair. That's pretty much it. Let's go. Who is ready? Dual Enrollment 101. So here is the thing. I'm not going to show you guys the notes, because if I do, you guys are just going to read the notes and not look at my face. But in this, we have 12 pages, right? Exactly was dual enrollment, AP versus dual enrollment, which ones, how to select it, and step-by-step how to do it as well too, right? I'm not going to show you guys notes. You guys got to take notes for yourself. That's how you learn, I heard. But if you're part of VIP, so all our VIP people, we will text the link to you guys tomorrow morning. So for those that are VIP, rest assured you got the notes for this tomorrow morning. Everyone else, if you're not VIP yet, definitely join VIP. Dual enrollment. What is dual enrollment? So in short, dual enrollment is as a high school student, they can take college courses, right? It can be technically any college. It could be a 4-year school, a private school, but typically it's at a community college. So when I say dual enrollment, I usually mean, hey, let's take a class at your local community college. Let's do a little pop quiz to make sure people know. So when we talk about dual enrollment, that means your child is taking classes from that school. They're taking legit. It's not like a dumbed down high school version of the class. No. It's the actual class that if you were a community college student, you can kind of literally sit next to the student and take the exact same class for credits. That's what dual enrollment classes are. Who can take it? Who can take dual enrollment classes? Anyone can, right? So anyone can take it. High school students, I recommend. Middle school students, a little too young, or I'm sure you could, but it's a little more paperwork that way. I highly recommend starting in 9th grade, plus maturity wise, that's a pretty good age to start. So 9th grade, you can start. Some people's gonna say, Coach Tony, my school is not gonna let me do that. I'm like, hang on, we'll talk about all those exceptions in a little bit. But technically, yes, as a 9th grade first semester, you can do dual enrollment. And we do have students that do. So I know it is doable because our own coaching students do it as early as 9th grade first semester. So high school students can do it. All you need though, as a high school student, is your counselor to sign off on it. Mainly your high school counselor or your principal. Parents, you can't go direct like around the school and get it done. Because they're under 18, they do need the high school's permission. Permission basically means your counselor needs to sign off on it. Just ask your counselor to do that. Again, you could. Some schools are very nice about it. A lot of schools, however, are not. So keep that in mind as well too. Again, one of the big things I tell families over and over again is your high school counselor, their main job, their main role is to make sure you graduate from high school. That's why they're so good at their jobs, getting you to graduate from high school. However, my thing, I'm going to safely assume that you guys are good at graduating for high school. If you need help graduating from high school, reach out to us. We'll talk to that. That's like a precursor to this call. But if we know, hey, our kid's going to graduate from high school, we are good. The next stage is for me, I want to help them accelerate and be competitive to the schools they want to apply to. That's the big difference, right? So because of that, sometimes we agree on our strategies, but a lot of times, specifically dual enrollment, we butt heads. Because of that, I'll talk about like, here's what they'll say, here's what that really means. Because again, I've sent students through dual enrollment 14 years now. And some background for those who don't know, I actually opened my own high school 7 years ago. And that school's model is dual enrollment. So I'm really, really big on the dual enrollment model, the early college model. I pretty much know every trick in the book on how to get your counselor to approve it as well. If we have time, we'll talk about some of those objections that they will say. But as a high school student, you can take it. They say no, you just got to figure out how. So the big question is AP versus dual enrollment. AP classes, break it down fast. AP classes, advanced placement classes, these classes mimic college rigor. That's why it's so hard. That's why it has a lot of workload, because they're trying to mimic what a college feels like for the high school student. As a result, your kids are spending probably a lot of time on these AP classes, right? They take it for the full year. At the end of the year in May, your child will be taking the AP test for that subject. So let's say they're taking AP Chem, AP Chemistry. That means in May, they're going to be taking the AP Chemistry test, right? On that test is out of 5 points. 3 is passing, 1, 2 is not passing, 3 is passing, max score is 5. Is 3 good? 3 is good. Is 5 good? 5 is very good. Is 1 bad? Not really bad, just means you didn't pass. One note about the 3s. 3 is passing. However, the purpose of the AP test is the AP test sees if you qualify for college credits. If you got a high enough score, you will get college credit. If you didn't get a high enough score, you won't get college credit. What that means, for example, right? And this is the way why this is a little hard, because every school is different. So what I'm going to do is I am looking up UCLA validation. Whatever school you want to look at, just look up the AP validation, and you will see all the schools have something similar to this right here. So you see on here that, for example, let's say I took art history, right? If I took art history, it says 3 to 5. That means if I got a 3, I will get credit. I will get credit for art history, 8 units at UCLA specifically, right? Let's scroll down a little bit. Here's the chemistry example we talked about. So let's say you took AP Chem, you took the AP Chem test, and then you passed the class with, or you passed the test with a 3. A 3 is good, right? 3 is passing. You're going to go ahead and get introductory to chemistry, 8 units when you go to UCLA. However, let's say for your major, you actually need general chemistry, not intro to chemistry. You need general chemistry. As a result of that, your 3 is kind of useless, because now when we get to the school, I have to go ahead and take general chemistry at UCLA, right? And that's what the numbers mean, right? So if you scroll down, you'll see some schools are like here with macroeconomics, right? Hey, if taken after, if I get a 3 or a 4 on the test, I'll just get 4 units. But if I get a 5, I get credit for Econ 2. That means if, let's say, when I go to UCLA, I need Econ 2, a 3 or even a 4 is not going to be good enough for me to get that credit. That's why kind of the general gist is just get a 5. The general answer is get a 5, and then pretty much a 5 will be good for any single thing there, right? So that's pretty much what AP classes are. Flip side, dual enrollment. So what a dual enrollment class, it's a college class. Number one perk, it is not a full year long. And that's one of the biggest benefits of it. It's only a semester long. Some of the community colleges are trimester, right? But that's very rare. So I'm going to stick with semester as well, or I mean quarter system. Rare. I'm going to focus on semesters though, right? So if there's a semester-based community college, there's a fall semester, there's a spring semester, and there's summer. So there's 3 potential semesters you can take classes in per year, right? And the reason why it's so big and why I'm talking about today is the end of September, is that in October, a lot of your community college will be opening up spring classes for next year from January up to May. And this is a great opportunity for those of you like, oh no, my child should have added more rigor to their schedule, but they're short by 1 or 2 like AP level classes, the best benefit is you can take a community college class in spring and that will up the rigor. And that's kind of one of the perks of dual enrollment. You can take classes in spring, you can take classes over summer. It's not a full year, it's only a semester long. Biggest perk there. But let's just play around the full benefits of it, right? So one is only 1 semester. That's cool. Let's say I took Music 101. Took Music 101, I took it. Then what, right? It's only a semester long. At the end of the class, I'll get a grade. A, B, C, hopefully not D or F. Let's assume I get an A. So with dual enrollment credits, as long as you take the right classes, keep that in mind. Don't take random classes. I get a lot of parents that get mad at me. Coach Tony, I took all these classes and you told me to do dual enrollment and none of them transferred. I'm like, hey, it has to be the right class. And if you stick around 5 minutes, I'll tell you what the right classes are. But you take the right classes. But if you, Music 101, for example, will count for my list at my school and my list, right? Then as long as I pass the class with an A, B, or C, I'm gonna get the college credit at the 4-year school, at all the 4-year schools, not just UCLA, but all the UCs, all the Cal States, and a lot of private schools. I don't want to say all the private schools because some private schools are kind of wonky with that, but a lot of private schools will accept it as long as it's part of like the general education courses. The difference here is that there's no extra test to take. As long as your student passes their class, A, B, C, again, aim for A's. B's are cool. Aim for A's though, right? As high a grade you can. As long as they pass that class is transferable, you're guaranteed the college credits to transfer over to the 4-year schools, right? So that's kind of the biggest perk of that. And as a result of that, flashing back a little bit, someone asked a question I want to integrate it into today, is that, hey, so how does that work with grades and impacting everything, the GPA and stuff as well too, right? What does Coach Tony tell people about GPA? What's the one thing I tell everyone about GPA? Does not matter, right? It matters. So I don't want to say it doesn't matter for those new folks. It does matter. However, right, looking purely at GPA tells me nothing about a student. Instead, admission readers are looking for grade trends, looking how strong, again, strong grades, right? Lots of A's, B's are fine, lots of A's though. And then rigor, academic rigor. And the rigor is the most important piece of the whole puzzle. So what we want to do is want to up the rigor. So how do we up the rigor? The most traditional sense is to take like the AP level courses, right? AP level courses. These classes gets you that extra rigor. However, on paper, from a reader's point, I'm sharing with you that what AP is also equal to IB. So those of you guys in IB programs, International Baccalaureate programs, right? Same thing. So instead of maxing out on APs, you can max out on IB classes. At the same time, the third level of rigor is dual enrollment courses, college level, CL. It's marked as CL on your transcripts, right? CL classes. They're the same. Wait. If they're the same, then take a step back. Is it really the same though? No. An AP class is a 1-year-long class. An IB class is a 2-year-long class. A college class is 1 semester, but on paper, it's the same. Question for you, do you guys want to have your child work harder or work smarter? The reason why I push dual enrollment so hard, it has the same impact as an AP class, as an IB class in half the time. Because again, we can condense it half. Because at the end of the day, academics is not the most important. It's the activity section. We'll probably talk about that next week, right? The activity section is what we want to spend a majority of our child's time on, not the academics, but we still want them to have, again, strong grades, strong academically rigorous schedule. So that's the big piece there. Okay. So when it comes to GPA calculation, for those who are interested, right, is every semester, every class gets that +1. Every class gets you a +1. So you take 2 classes, that's a +2. Similar to how AP works. Every semester of an AP class is a +1 for honors. So those who want to calculate it, that's how you calculate it. But that being said, that's the biggest difference between dual enrollment and AP classes. And I would like to show you guys step by step of which classes to pick and how to pick them. First one I see, I'm going to pick. First one I see, West Valley. All right, that was fast, right? So first thing we do is we go to Google, type in West Valley, and you want to type in, it's called IGETC, IGETC. That is the Intersegmental General Education Transfer Curriculum. These are the list of classes that are transferable to all the UCs, all the Cal States, and a lot of private schools. You do a search, click the first few ones that you use, the first one or so. So here, boom, right? So luckily for us, is the first one. What you're looking for is either a list, this is a list, or a table. That's another one. Another, I see Palomar, IGETC, right? It's another school I see, right? Click here. This one should be, boom, a table of classes. So you see this as a list or a table of classes. Here you open a list of classes. So all these classes on this list is 100% transferable to any of the UC schools, to any of the Cal State schools, and a lot of the private schools. One quick segue, I forgot to mention real fast. So I think someone asked it. It's actually a pretty good question. A lot of people ask, like, hey, does this go on my high school transcript? How does this affect everything as well too? The biggest thing to keep in mind about dual enrollment classes, the way we do the strategy for us, is we use these classes to add on rigor. We don't use it to replace rigor. So a lot of your schools will be like, you can't do dual enrollment because the classes offer at the high school. That's a huge thing I hear, right? Keep in mind, I am not trying to get rid of the US history class that you have to take as a junior. No, I want to add on like a philosophy class, add on a psychology class, add on a class that the school might not have already offered. Right. As a result of that, and then plus, I don't need it to go on my high school transcripts. The counselor's going to say that to you too, like, hey, it won't go in your transcript. And then they're like, oh no, it is completely fine. I don't even care if it goes, take all my college classes off the transcript, because the high school transcript should be high school classes. At the end of the day, no matter what school you're applying to, UCs, Cal States, private, Ivies, everything, they are going to ask you, did you take college classes? If you did, cool. What school did you attend? What classes did you take? What grades did you get? Once you got into the school, you submit the transcripts from that college over. I don't, again, keep in mind, I don't care what your high school says. I care that the colleges recognize that I took these college classes. That's why ignore GPA, because then your GPA is going to go all weird with all these things, right? So ignore GPA, it doesn't tell me anything. So now we are at the classes, right? Specifically, what's the next step? Next step, like I guess, focus on area 3, area 4. So go to area 3, area 4. If it's your first time doing dual enrollment, you start here. If you have been doing dual enrollment with us, for example, or a while, and you're done with 3 and 4, then you branch out to 1, 2, 5, 6. Right? But if you're brand new, I'm assuming a lot of you guys are brand new with dual enrollment, or you've only taken 1 or 2 classes, start with area 3, area 4. Area 3 is arts and humanities. Area 4 is social behavioral sciences. The reason why, these are the easiest classes on the entire list. Again, we do not need to make our lives hard. We want to add rigor. So as a result, area 3, area 4 overall is a lot easier than the other areas, right? Not saying it's the easiest, it's just easier. Next step, we're going to go ahead and pick a class. So what I do now is I go and I tell, like, hey, little Johnny, the student I have, right? Or your child, I don't know who calls their child, right? Child, right? What class sounds interesting to you? What class sounds fun for you? What class sounds like something you would like to take? So again, any class, it does not matter at this point. There is a specialized training we can do of, like, if your school is super chill and they let you take dual enrollment for high school credit, that's a completely different strategy that we can abuse like crazy. Most schools aren't like that. In the school, the students that do have that luxury, we work with them to kind of because again, hypothetically, like, there's a history class. 2 of these history classes count for your world history and your US history. Political science counts for your government class. The econ counts as your econ class. So a lot of these classes in here count for your high school requirements. Again, keep in mind, a lot of your schools won't like it if we did that. So as a result, we don't want to cause conflicts with the counselor, any other class from there, right? So let's say, for example, anyone here, go ahead and do sociology, anthropology. Someone pick one. Someone says, Coach Tony, you're going too fast. This is my normal speed. So all we got to do is listen faster or watch the replay in like 0.5 speed. So sociology, let's say we are at this school, West Valley, sociology is here. We see sociology, there's a lot of numbers to these classes. That means all these sociology classes are good to go. So that's the biggest thing here. So now, next step, we're going to go ahead and check the class schedule. So I'm going to go West Valley, fall, or you guys should do spring. Let's assume this is the right one, right? So this is last year's spring, not 2024 spring. Good catch. But regardless, right? We search for classes, and what we're gonna do is search for the subject, sociology, and then you see that there's a bunch of classes here, right? So we're looking for either 1, 2, 3, 12. So 1, 2, 3. There's no 12, which is fine. We want to aim towards a lower number. So let's, if possible, if the ones are good, let's do the ones. Click show sections. Now, the next piece you want to check is the suitable time and format. So with community college classes, right? This one is a in-person class, right? Location. So there's a room Monday, Wednesdays at 9:20 to 10:45. Unless your school is super chill with that, you probably can't leave high school for this, right? So this class is probably no-go. The next one, you look, this one's also in person, 10. Again, you probably in high school, probably no-go. Next one, hey, check this out. This is an online asynchronous class. What that means is as long as you get your work done, you're good. So that's the type of class that I've been recommending a lot of our students do. So with that, you'll see it as online asynchronous. I think these are fall classes too. These aren't even spring, but that's that, right? So this class is good. This class is good. This class is good. This class is good. In person though, probably can't do that one. In person, can't. Oh, this you could have done it, but there's no room, right? This is like evening class if you want to make yourself there, but there's no room. So let's stick with the online classes so far. Next step, research the professor. This is the magical key of dual enrollment. Again, these are college classes. As a result, they're hard. So keep in mind, yes, we want them, it's supposed to be easier, but there's a tactic to make it easier, right? So we got to make sure that teacher teaching the class is easy. So what we got to do is a site called ratemyprofessors.com. You want to bookmark this. You will use this in college, community college, and your 4-year school, and your master's. Everyone uses this site. So it's definitely like every school uses this. So you got to type in the school, West Valley College, and we type in the teacher's name. So the first teacher's name is Jennifer, and sociology, we found her. Next piece, we look at reviews and ratings. We want to look at high 5-star, the easiness score, and the written reviews. A lot of 5 stars is good. Difficulty, 2.6, meh, it's all right. Right? Not everyone's going to take it again. So read the last few ones. You're like, oh, ooh, worst, right? Bad. So be careful of this one. Right? Next person. And it's what we do, right? So go next person. The next teacher who's also teaching this class is Tracy Dehan, right? Tracy Dehan, little even more mixed, higher difficulty, 67%. Ooh, lots of ones. So last one is Megan. Ooh, look at that, right? Megan McNamara, right? A lot more 5-star reviews relative to everything else. Lower difficulty, much higher. Would take again 4.7 out of 5. Look at the last reviews. This is recent. This is somewhat recent, right? Great, passionate teacher. Took it twice. Lots of work, but really good. Learned a lot about race. Dual enrollment. Loved it as well. So yeah, so this is literally, right? If there are some bad reviews back in the past, right? So, but it is back in 2019. That's why I said look at the more recent one, because the teachers can change, right? We can change based on feedback. So if, let's say, these were my final 3 choices, right? I would pick Megan over the other 2 teachers. So let's say I'm going to take her class, and what I do next is I'm going to get the class code, the CRN. Right, this class code is 72396. And there's room. Look at that. There's 1 spot available. There's waitlist, but there's still room available. Oh, actually, those of you in the area, class hasn't started yet. So those of you at West Valley College who want to dual enroll in this class, by the way, you technically can, right? Because the class has not started yet. There's still room. They usually allow everyone the waitlist if the waitlist is pretty small. This waitlist is pretty small. So by the way, any West Valley colleges, go ahead and take this. I would take this. So class code, go to your counselor for it, and then they're going to go ahead and help you get started and get signed up for that. And the best part about dual enrollment is dual enrollment classes are typically free for the high school student. So the high school is not totally free. The high school is covering it for you, is the biggest difference there. So Zoom friends, let me stick around as long as I can just to answer any questions. I'm going to go under Q&A mode, by the way. So we talked about someone's backup of doing, hey, if I don't get into UCs, can I do community college and transfer? I'll have 30 credits by the end of senior year because of dual enrollment. So kudos for that, by the way. Can I transfer the following year as well, too? Hypothetically, yes, right? So because you only need 1 year worth of classes, right? 1 year's worth of classes to go ahead and do that. However, keep this in mind. Admissions, now you're doing transfer admissions. They look back 5 years. If like you didn't get in the first time, you got to understand, why didn't I get in? If your app doesn't really change, is not going to change again on the transfer application. That's why it might be useful to stay the full 2 years to build up something. Because keep in mind, right, you're going to apply in November, find out in April, and you have between April and November again to do anything significant to add on to your application. Keep that in the back of your head. Is it better to take a dual enrollment on top of a normal class schedule? I would, right? Again, following the same exact structure, go ahead and add these easier online classes on top of what is. Again, don't kill yourself. Take like 1 class per semester. You should be good to go. Should you replace a high school class? If you can, that's the best case scenario. However, most high schools won't let you do that. But if you can, though, I highly encourage that. Do I put my current class schedule on my apps if I don't know the dual enrollment classes in the spring? So you'll see that the dual enrollment schedule will come out usually in October, if not in November. So some of our students, like even though we have, I know our deadline to be done is like our internal deadline is like November 1st for the UCs. We might even push it back 2 weeks just to make sure that you can see the class that you're taking and try to get into it. Even if you don't, I would recommend is still put down a class. And let's say if the class was full or something, or you end up taking another class, it's fine because you can go ahead and email the college and say, hey, university, I'm taking Anthropology 101 in the spring. However, that class was actually full. So I went ahead and took Sociology 102 instead. As long as you email them and have like proof of that, and they'll say, got it, you're good to go. You're not really lying against them. You're still doing a dual enrollment class. They just want to know like you're taking a college class. That's kind of how they view that. Does dual enrollment for class report in the spring help 1 to 8%? Same as that question. The answer is yes. Definitely do that for our seniors, by the way. Huge kind of little secret weapon you guys can throw in last minute. Definitely added a dual enrollment class in the spring. That counts. So you guys know what the readers see. They see just the year's worth of classes. They don't know as far as spring. They don't know if your college class was a fall class or a spring class. They just saw you take a college class. That's why, that's the whole perk of doing it in spring. So you can get it in on time. Or like that scenario you saw me did today of like that class hasn't started yet. So hypothetically, you can add a class this semester and add another class second semester. That's 2 classes that you're adding on to your schedule itself. How do schools viewing the CHSPE test, high school proficiency exam, take community college? They're 2 separate topics. The high school proficiency exam, that's to get out of high school. And then the community college dual enrollment is dual enrollment. You can start as early as a 9th grader for dual enrollment. Can you take junior and senior? Yeah, that's what a lot of people do as well too. There's no wrong time. It's just do it now. It's like one of those like, when's the best time to plant a tree? The best time was yesterday. The next best time is today. If you don't do well in dual enrollment, how would that impact you when you apply? It's like a bad grade in a class, right? Question 1, why don't have the bad grade in the class? It's not like, hey, right? So 1, that's why we try to structure everything as much as we can to ensure that's an easy class, you do well. That being said, if you tried really hard, you didn't do well, that's a self-awareness factor now, right? I've been really big on that this past year so far of like, hey, if you're struggling in a dual enrollment class, how are you going to be at the 4-year colleges? At the end of the day, a lot of students, sometimes parents say, my kid's going to go to this high name school. And I'm like, do you understand what that really means for them to go to that school? Not even go there, to stay in there the 4 years, right? These schools are hard. People think like, I made it, I'm good. No, you make it. That's step 1. Can you survive the next 4 years? In that setting? Do IB cover enough material to take the AP without taking the AP class? Yes and no. The IB curriculum's a little different than the AP, but can you self-study the AP test? Yes. I have tons of students who do that all the time. So yes, there. Will UC accept dual enrollment class done prior to 9th grade? I believe so, but double check that with the school. That I don't know the 100%. I don't want to give you the wrong answer. So double check that. Let me know what you find out. But I believe you can, because again, it goes back 5 years usually for admission. So they should be able to, like 8th grade, for example, they can do that. But if you're thinking about, should I start earlier? I would not start earlier. There's the, can I handle it? And there's the mentally maturity wise, can I handle it? I do not think 8th graders are maturity wise ready to do a dual enrollment class. Even if they are, why? Let them enjoy 8th grade, guys. Let them enjoy 8th grade. We will stress them out in 9th grade. If you didn't do well in enrollment, how will you impact when you apply? I answered this already. It will impact you. Again, it's like a class, right? You didn't do well. Again, the goal of this is to help us. So we strategically should have done well to help bump that up. How to count GPA for community college course? It's a +1. Again, you probably missed this little section. Ignore GPA. Doesn't mean anything. I have no clue what any of my students' GPAs are. We just want to stack on as much rigor as possible and do well there. Next one. Apply to a STEM major, bio to UC's carry, take AP US history, or take a lot of AP science classes as well too. The class itself doesn't matter as much as you guys think it does. It's the number of classes and the rigor of the schedule. Keep in mind, again, a lot of academics is compared against the high school itself. So at your high school, are you maxing out, or are you like letting things go because you're too scared to take certain classes, which is fine. Keep in mind, like being too scared to the max out is fine, but then be realistic about what the goals are afterwards, right? A lot of students talk, I want to go to Berkeley, UCLA, and I'm like, take that, the AP. No, that class is too hard. I'm scared of that AP class. I'm like, that doesn't make sense at all. Is it too late for seniors? No, right? So fall, you saw the live example. I found a class, literally, thank you for Tyler, right? Thanks for how I found the class at West Valley College. It's online, which hypothetically means you can take it from anywhere. I didn't share that on the big screen, but you guys know this. Anywhere, right? You can go and enroll there right now, get in. Might be a little hard, might be a little tough to do that right away, but it's doable for you guys to do that. So find class that hasn't started yet. If not, for spring, I can do that. Can you enroll in other schools? Hypothetically, yes. Community college is community college. You're just adding more schools to your thing. And at the end of the day, you're going to be sharing a lot more. Keep in mind, you got to pay per transcript $10. So it's nothing significant, but just something to keep in mind. The more schools you apply from. Is it better to work on certificate degree or focus on transferability credits? Focus on credits, ignore degree. Degrees don't mean much. Certificate and degrees don't mean anything as well too. So transferableness, I would always do transferableness over anything else. Do you go to your high school first enroll? So you miss availability? I would find the class first, then come to your counselor, let them help you out with that. Again, if you come to the counselor and say, hey, can you help me with this? They're like, ugh, work. Right? Think humans, right? Humans, they don't want to do work. So what we do instead is we're going to go ahead and do all the work for them. Hey, I'm picking this class. This is the class code. This is why I'm taking it. It's transferable as IGETC. Look at the teacher. Teacher's easy. So you do all the work for them. They just got to sign. We do it as easy as possible for the counselor to sign. Are dual enrollment classes less rigorous by college readers? No, I mentioned this as a reader. They're the same in terms of rigor. So that's the thing. No, answer is no. How will spring show up in the transit dual enrollment? Maybe I've answered it. You kind of asked this as I was answering, right? It's all showing up the same thing. It says senior, every single class. Spring, fall, it's on the same exact list of classes as well. Too, we can't tell as a reader if it's a spring class, fall class. We can't tell it all from that. I'm taking 5 high school classes, 3 in the fall, take 2 more in the spring, totals 10. They're like crazy. Imagine, well, as long as you do well, you're good, right? And plus, they're going to help you with the next step. If all the dual enrollment has a B, should I mention those? I mentioned everything in the college. Guys, B's aren't bad grades, right? Come on. Don't. Who are you, my parents? Just kidding. My parents weren't that mean. So no. B's are good. Again, why aim for the B's? Try aim for the A. Again, we are strategically picking the class at the same time. Again, this is all going back to self-awareness. An A student is going to do A-level behavior. A B student is going to do B-level behavior. If you talk to some of my kids who go to Ivies, they work different than all the other students in our program. Just how they work and how they think. Not saying they're better or worse than any student. That's just how they are. Would a B student be chill with the B? No. Or would an A student be chill with the B? No, they'll figure out how to get that A. There's people who are like, oh, that class is hard. Oh, the teacher hates me. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Excuse people, calling them out. Excuses, I see. If you want it to happen, you figure it out how to happen. And if you don't want to, it's fine, right? It's completely fine. Don't aim as high as well too, right? We give you the proven pathway to get there, but it's self-awareness. Like for me, I would not go to Harvard today. I wouldn't even go back to Berkeley today, right? Those schools are wild. For like me, I would not keep up. I would not do well in that environment as well too at all. I have enough self-awareness to understand that. And that's the biggest thing I tell students. We want to help you find a perfect fit for you. Why go to a school where you can be miserable for 4 years? Because you're always trying to play catch up. That's not fun. On the UC site, how review, one of the criteria is UC top 9%. That's called ELC. How important? Not as important. It's important, but it's not as important. Would your app be filtered out? No, it would not. If you are top 9, it'll say ELC check. If you're not, you don't have to. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter anything. Once you have the CC class, I have no clue the context of that question. I apologize. What courses should I take for computer science major? Do not, again, do what I told you. Did I say take computer science classes, guys, today? I certainly did not. Did I say take bio classes if you were a bio major? I did not, right? No matter what your major is. Dual enrollment, IGETC. I say you want to enroll till high school signs off. Correct. Yeah, so you find the class, go to the counselor, go to the high school counselor. They will sign for you. Then you enroll. That's pretty much it. I ran through all the questions. That was fun. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I have another call right now, so that's what I have to do. I have to head out. It was a pleasure chatting with you guys again. Come back again next time. Bring a friend. Right. Again, I would love this to get bigger and bigger and bigger every single week. So let me know if you guys what you guys want me to talk about. Text me, email me what topics you want to learn for next week. All right. Chat soon, friends. Bye.